I think a really nice way of summing up this whole problem was emailed into me as part of the questions. Somebody said if I didn't have to continuously prove what I do with the children, I would have time to actually do it. And I think that's a really key point. And Julian, I suppose on that, I'd just love to ask you, how much evidence is enough evidence? How much is too much? And should documentation be limited to only what you think you need?
Okay, so you're absolutely right. These are some of the questions that are kind of coming out there all of the time at the moment. So first of all, the idea of evidence is a bit of a problematic idea because it implies that we somehow wouldn't trust professionals in the early years, and we therefore need some sort of evidence to prove what's going on. So I would try and get away from evidence as far as possible in our sector as a term. And let's think instead about what do we know about good practice in terms of how we care for children and how we help them to learn. So we really need to get to know children. So we have a lot of new children settling in at the moment, for example. So we're spending a lot of time with those children, getting to know them. We're talking with their families. And that's really important because that tells us a number of things that we need to know. First of all, we need to know about each child as an individual. We need to know what they're interested in, but also if they have some difficulties or need extra help in any areas. And we need to build that relationship with their parents so we can work collaboratively to support the child. We need to think about whether that child might need a bit of extra help to access what we've got on offer here, or whether they are absolutely ready to play and join in and do all of the things that the nursery school offers. And a lot of that is about very carefully noticing what children are doing, listening to what they say to us, thinking about what that tells us about their level of development, and then how we're going to help them access all of the different play and learning opportunities we've got here. So where people are saying evidence, I would say think about what you notice about children and what you do with that information. How do you put that info to really good use? And then the final thing I would say, just in this brief answer now, is focus your attention on the children who need the most attention. So we shouldn't be about creating mounds and mounds of evidence about every child. What we should be doing is high quality assessment for all of the children we're working with, and we should be doing that carefully. We should be involving parents. But some children we should be spending a lot more time getting to know them, finding out what motivates them and what they love doing and what their interests are, finding out where they need that extra help, and giving them that extra time and attention. So all that time that potentially you save because you're not doing all of those things that Wendy and Phil have said you don't need to do for Ofsted, you can use that time to make a real difference to the children you're working with. Use that time really well to play with the children, to have conversations with them, to help them to learn better. So a lot of this is about redressing the focus of our efforts away from this concept of evidence and tracking, and towards the place that will make a difference, which is the day by day, minute by minute interactions we have with the children.